Welcome to another episode of the Iced Tea Podcast. Today, I sit down with Jalen Chatfield's fiance, Drew Shott, who talks about their love story, how it all began, what exactly Jaylen listens to before a game, and who on the team they'd trust to watch their son, Krew. All that and so much more. Iced Tea is a production of Mix 101.5 and presented by Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, where every patient is treated like family. Drew, thank you so much for joining me today. I have to ask, how do you like your tea? Sweet or unsweet?
Sweet.
Sweet tea.
Way.
Lucky for you,
yes.
We've got you some sweet tea there. Is that something you've always liked, or is it just like being here in the South?
No, I was never like when I think of tea and like sweet tea, I think of like Nestle iced tea. Yeah. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So then coming to the South, yeah, I definitely got accustomed to the sweet tea.
I feel like I'll get there at some point.
You're not there?
I'm not there.
Okay.
I'm not there.
Okay.
But I also wasn't there for pumpkin spice lattes, but now I'm there all the way.
So
I grew up in New England. I'm
time.
like, how could I not like a pumpkin spice latte? And now all of a sudden, so my taste buds are just catching up.
Okay.
It'll get there.
Yeah.
But I always am so curious about the love story. How did you and Jalen Chatfield meet?
Oh my gosh. We met 9 years ago. He played junior hockey in Windsor, Ontario. It was like the Windsor Spitfires. He was there for 4 years. I met him in his last year. It was like he was an overager. And he was the captain that year. And I worked at Boston Pizza, this like little, I mean, it's not little actually, it's a franchise in Canada. And I worked the bar side and I was going to school, and I happened to be working all the Thursday, Tuesday nights, and they would come in after games, the guys on the team, and they were all around my age. My really good friend at the time was really good friends with Jalen's billet brother, if that makes sense. He played on the team, but they both billeted with the same billet.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she was really good friends with him. And then she kind of got me to like hang out with him. And then Chatty was always around. And we literally truly started off as best friends. I think that for a solid almost a year of being really, really good friends, like so genuine. There was nothing more to it. I found out that he liked me a little bit more than just a friend. And I liked him a little bit more as a friend too. So anyways, we just took it, I guess, to the next level, tried dating, and it worked. And we've just been dating ever since. I'm honestly honored to say that I did not meet him via social media. Like that's just, with like date. And also it was during that time period, dating apps weren't a thing yet. Like Grindr and Tinder. I mean, I think they were, but my generation wasn't really invested in them as they are now. And so I've never been on a dating app. I've never experienced that.
You don't need to, girl.
And
it's
I don't
terrible.
need to. Yeah, and I don't want to. But like when people talk about it, I'm like, I never like swiped left or right ever.
You're not
and
missing
I'm really
anything.
happy about it. Yeah. So no, we that's how we met.
Over pizza. I
really,
love that.
Truly. It's like, yeah, it was great.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so after that, when did you realize that Jaylen you're like, okay, this guy is good. And like, if this is going to be a thing, I'm going to have to go with him.
Commit.
I'm going to have to commit,
Really
and
commit.
my life is going to have to change. So when did you come to that realization?
So I think that when he was a free agent, undrafted. When he signed with Vancouver, I was like, okay, well, Vancouver is very far from Windsor, Ontario. It's like a 5-hour flight. And then the AHL is where he was. And that was like a 7-hour drive. It wasn't really too bad. Upstate New York in Utica. I think like when he signed is when I was like, okay, so we're going to be long distance. And it's also like long distance in hockey is hard because I find that their schedules are just so intense in the sense that like, when am I going to talk to you? You're at the rink all day. And then if you have games, like you're at the rink and then you're sleeping and then you have a game and then you're not done till like 11 and then you're traveling or you're on a plane or you're on a bus, whatever it may be. So we did 1 year distance and it did not work for us.
Oh.
Like it was fine. Like I wouldn't say like we had problems or anything like that, but just we're both like not great texters, the phone calls are fine and they do fine. But after that 1 year of distance, I quite literally was like, okay, I have to break it to my parents that I'm quitting school after I never finished getting my degree.
How many years did you have left?
Oh, like I still had three years.
Okay.
But so it wasn't like fully invested, but still, like my parents were like, okay.
And this was young love because y'all are you're still young. And 9 years ago.
I moved with him when I was 20.
Wow.
Yeah, I moved out of the house at 20.
What did your parents say?
I think that my parents like knew Jaylen and his mindset, and that he was gonna do whatever he could to be the best at whatever he was gonna do, right? And truly that is his mindset. And he was gonna work as hard as he could to get to where he wanted to be, and he's done that, and I'm so proud of that. But I think they had faith in him that, you know, we weren't gonna end up on the streets or anything. Like we were gonna make it. Like we were gonna do what we had to do to make it. And we did, and it was fun. It was like such a fun experience. I like those years, especially in the AHL, the first few years, those were like good learning years. Like I've learned so much being in this lifestyle, but those like first 3 years were like major learning years.
I believe it.
Yeah. Especially being so young, leaving all my friends. A lot of my really good friends had a hard time with the fact that I was leaving and giving up school for a guy. They just like truly could not even fathom that that's like what was going on.
Yeah.
And now obviously they're like looking and they're like, okay, it was worth it.
Sometimes you just have to have faith, you know?
Yeah, and I did. I really like, it's so funny because I really just jumped into it. It was like hey, like, should we move in together? Yep. And then it was that. Like, it wasn't like this big conversation. It was just like, okay, next year we're not doing this distancing. Like, I'm moving with you. And we did that.
And you have to act on the gut feeling sometimes when you know it's right.
Yeah,
it's right. And that's what makes it so beautiful.
Yeah.
So after the AHL, was Jalen's first team the Canucks?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were there. How was that first year in the NHL once he signed with the big guys?
Okay, so how it went was that he was on a 3-year entry level, and his first year he didn't really get called. Actually, yeah, no, first year he didn't really get called up. Second, third year he was like the number one defenseman to get called up. So if they needed a D, they were getting called up. But the problem with him getting called up is that he never really got to play because the travel was like 14 hours to get from upstate New York to Vancouver.
Yeah.
They always held on to extra D. Like they always carried 7-8D on their main roster. So when he did get called up, it was kind of to take the place of a 7/8 D. So he never got in the lineup.
I didn't even think about that. For us here, we have the benefit because Chicago, you know, it's not bad.
Yeah.
But that's a long trip.
It's like an intense travel day. Yeah. So then the next year was COVID year, and he got on the roster for COVID year. But it was like not a real NHL year for him, right? Because there was no fans. We didn't start till December, and it was only a few months. So, and also with that, it wasn't it didn't feel like a real NHL year for him. It also didn't feel like a real NHL experience for me because the girls weren't really supposed to be getting together. You weren't really supposed to be posting things. Going out to dinners and lunches with the guys wasn't a thing because they weren't supposed to be out. That whole team got COVID that year.
That's right.
Yes. And we all got COVID, you know, so it was like one of those situations where we weren't really supposed to be doing much.
Yeah.
And the guys weren't really supposed to be seen outside of their apartments.
That makes sense.
To play hockey.
Okay. So after you get through COVID, remind me, because I feel like when I started with the team this is my 4th season. I feel like Jaylen came in
the year that you did. Probably.
Was it the same year?
Yeah, because this is his 3rd season actually here, but his first season
was in Chicago.
He signed with Carolina after COVID year, after the COVID hockey year. He signed with Carolina. He came to camp, went down to Chicago, and we started the season in Chicago.
Okay.
He got called up.
He got called up a lot.
And he was up here for like a good stint of time, and he played great. He was playing on first and second line when he got called up, which was amazing. And then that January, I believe, of that year is when he signed his extension for 2 more years.
Okay.
And then that was the last 2 years.
And then you were like, okay, we're going to Raleigh.
We're going to Raleigh. But even that first year, he was on a two-way. So we didn't actually know. We were living in a hotel for like 55 days. We didn't know if he was actually making the full roster.
That's got to be so hard. And props to you for adjusting.
Yeah.
Because you not only do you have to adjust because your life is changing, but also being so supportive because a lot of what he's doing out on the ice, you know, is affected by his mentality and how tired he is and all that stuff. So how did you get through that?
I feel like I'm pretty good at just adjusting to him. Like, I don't know. Like, and I never really have thought about it too hard. I think I just do it. There's no point in like complaining I mean, it's not easy.
No.
But I don't really think, I'm like, we're very blessed. Like, this is a great lifestyle to be in and to be a part of. So I try not to think negatively about it.
I'm so happy that you guys are in Raleigh.
Yeah,
I feel like you feel, or I've seen some videos where you very much talk about this being home. It's feeling like home.
This is home.
So of all the cities that you've been to together, this is like one that just feels right.
Yeah, I think, and we always say that even if we ever were to not be on the Hurricanes, that our off season this would be our home base. Yeah, we love it here, like so much. We've never had a community outside of hockey. Which is so important, by the way. Like, it is so great to have a good community within hockey. And the guys have their, like, each other, and they are a strong force. Like, it's a very good locker room, right? The guys from, like, Rod all the way down.
Yeah.
They're great. And then because our guys are so great, they all married or are dating great wives.
Really great, yeah.
So, truly, the wives' room is fantastic, too. There's not, like, one bad thing I could say. And that's lucky because, you know, you hear things about other teams and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be in I don't want to be in that wives room.
Yes, it's scary.
Yeah,
it can be scary.
It is
yes.
scary. But no, really, there's not one bad thing. Everyone is so humble, so sweet, so like inclusive. It's really like refreshing, honestly.
I did see a post that you made a couple games ago where it was on your story and it was all of y'all out to dinner together.
Yeah.
Do you do that before every home game?
No. I think it's hard to get everyone together. A lot of the girls have multiple kids. So, I mean, mom life comes first, right? So I think it's hard to get, like, especially all the moms together. That's the hardest. All the girls who don't have kids yet or who are pregnant or whatever, it's easier to get us together. I try to be in the middle of, like, mom and, like, I'm still young, right? I'm only 26.
You're a baby.
Yeah, I'm still young. So I get a babysitter. Krew goes to bed early. He's a great sleeper. He sleeps 13 hours a night. He goes to bed at 7. So I try to, like, I don't bring him to every game. I try to, like, get together with the girls as much as possible and still have that, like, time for myself, which is super nice. So yeah. No, it's great.
Iced Tea is presented by Lane & Associates Family Dentistry. The team at Lane makes every visit an adventure for the kids, whether it's a cleaning, ongoing care, or a special treatment. It's always stress-free for the kids. So visit lanedds.com to find a location near you. When y'all go out together, is it like dinners? What does it look like?
Oh, yeah. I mean, Raleigh's not super, super crazy.
Exactly.
Yeah, dinners. All the restaurants that are coming up within this last year.
I know.
Like, we have some great restaurants now, so we've been taking a full advantage
Raleigh
of that.
is just growing, expanding.
I really can't believe it.
I can't either because
when we first got here to now, I'm like, this is like night and day.
I feel like because we moved here probably around the same time, and it's just the amount that we've seen it grow. I can't even imagine the people that are from here just seeing it grow around them.
It's crazy.
But truly, you're right. Yeah. What a great city. Yeah. I do want to talk about your little cherub. I do want to talk about Krew. But before we get to that, when you do go to the games, what is that like? Do you have to park with everyone else? Like, no. Where do you go? What do you do?
No, we park. So where the guys park, the guys have their parking.
Yes.
We don't park in the gated area where, like, they're gated. We're right outside of it.
Okay.
There's like a family lot.
But you're right by the arena.
Yeah. And then we just like go through where they go through and we go through our own little security and it takes us, it's like kind of where the Zambonis sit.
Yes.
And then we go right into our like wives room.
Oh, amazing. So when the intermissions happen and stuff like that, do you get to go back and kind of go in that room anytime you want?
Room. Yeah.
Okay.
There's food down there. Like we get dinner. Chef Sean is great and provides us dinner. And there's like drinks down there and stuff. So, and there's a TV. So like a lot of the times when moms do bring their kids, some of their periods, they'll sit down there and just like watch it on the TV and chat and Yeah.
We did have Chef Sean on one of our podcast episodes, and he was just telling us how sometimes the guys like something so much, and then they're like, yeah, and then I tell like the wives and the fiancés and the girlfriends about it. And do you ever try to replicate something he's made?
Honestly, no, because it won't turn out the way he does it. But there are some things that Jaylen will bring home that I'm like, oh, that's so good.
That looks so good.
Yeah, and it'll come around like twice a year. And I'm like, yeah, bring that back when it does come around.
When he sat in this chair, we were talking about food the entire episode, and my mouth was just watering. I was like, oh my God, okay, I need to sneak some of that food.
I know, it's really good. It is really good. He does a good job.
Okay, so I've been staring at that ring. Girl, tell me about the proposal.
Oh, yeah. We went to... Jaylen and I didn't do an All-Star break last year.
Okay.
We were like, okay, we're not going away for All-Star. We are just going to put everything that we had put into All-Star into our summer vacation. And we did Italy for 12 days, just mom and dad. And it was so nice. I like actually get giddy talking about it because I'm like, I truly felt like we were like dating again, like back before before Krew. And it was so nice. And that trip was like, really a trip of a lifetime. We went all out. We truly like went all out on the trip, and it was just so nice. So it was when we started off in Rome. We went to Amalfi, went to Capri, then we went to Ravello, then we went back to Rome, and then home. And when we got to Amalfi, the hotel that we stayed at was insane. It has like a Michelin key. It's one of the best hotels in Italy. It's like top 10, and I think he probably got the sense like, oh, this is where I need to propose. Like, it's stunning. And we just had a really good first day. So we traveled in on the first day. The second day, we took a full advantage of the hotel. We did not leave the hotel because they had a private beach club. They had its own pool. The restaurants were amazing. Breakfast was insane. So we just spent the full day at the hotel. And I kept saying like, this is such a perfect day. Like, I kept saying that. Like, I really felt like it was such a perfect day. We were just sun tanning and going in the water and coming out of the water and going in the ocean, going in the pool. And it was like such a good day, eating by the water. Everything was great. The weather was amazing. And then we went to dinner, got ready for dinner. We went to dinner, and I could tell something was up. He looked like a little nervous. He seemed like he was being a little not himself, but I mean, I don't know. I was drinking a lot of wine, so I was like...
As you should in Italy, too, like, by the way.
Okay, whatever. And then I said, I'm like, usually he's not on board for like a photo shoot. He's like, or pictures in general. But he was good this trip. I was like, okay, we're not going to complain about how many photos I want to take this trip. We're just going to do it, right?
Yes.
Like, we just need to get on board right now. Like I said this like on the flight there.
It's going to happen for the gram.
It's going to happen, so let's just do it.
Let's do it.
Anyway, so he was like, oh, let's go to that terrace and let's take a photo. Like, let's get a photo. We'll ask someone to take our photo. I'm like, yes. Like,
yes, Jaylen.
That's amazing. Yeah. So that's exactly, we went up to this terrace, and then it ended up not being anything special. We were like, okay, no, this is not it. So we went to this another spot. It's right by the bar that we were wanting to go to anyways. And I'm like, okay, we need someone to take our photo. He's like, oh, I'll go ask the worker. And he went and got a worker, and I guess he told him then that he was proposing. So he just took photos, and then he proposed. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Did you have a little sense that it was going to happen on the trip?
Okay, yeah. Because I am like a planner, right?
Same.
And I'm very type A. And Jaylen and I, we've been together for a while, right? And then I got pregnant, 2 years ago? And I was like, you better not propose to me.
Oh.
Like a shotgun proposal. Like, it's...
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I just I want to feel special. I feel like not great. I'm puking a lot, you know? And then after I had the baby, I definitely didn't feel myself, right? So I had a feeling, because then I was like, I kept saying like, oh, it'd be perfect if you propose this summer, because next summer we could have our wedding, and then we could try having a baby, and it would be, he or she, I guess, would be under the 3-year age gap.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want a bigger gap than that. And I don't think he did either. He's one of 5. And they're like, all of the siblings are like 2 to 3 years apart.
Oh, wow. Where does Jaylen fall in?
He's the second oldest.
The second oldest. How about you? Do you have siblings?
I'm an only child.
Well, I have a half sister, but I have the best of both worlds.
I guess I have a half brother, my dad and my stepmom, but he's so young. We're 14-year difference.
Okay.
So I totally was like out of the house. Like
so
it just didn't
must have been very hard for your parents when you were like, "Hey, I'm going to leave and not."
Yeah.
Do you get to see them a lot?
I do. Yeah,
Okay,
I do
good.
get to see them. I truly lived an only child. I lived at my mom's mainly too, right? So it was my dad and my stepmom.
Okay.
So I was at my mom's mainly.
Yeah.
And then, so I just truly felt like an only child, but yeah.
That proposal story gave me chills, though. That is a dream. That is a dream come true.
It was just such a good night. And then we were the only ones at our hotel bar, and they brought us a really nice bottle of champagne, and we were just chatting with the two workers. And it was just like such a good, perfect night. And honestly, in Jaylen fashion, like he's not a very flashy guy. He's very to himself. He's kind of quiet. He would never have, if he did like this big proposal where there was like people like watching or like a big party, like it wouldn't have been him.
I feel like my boyfriend's the same way.
I'm the opposite. I would have been okay with that. But like,
same.
I'm glad he did it in this way. This is like more us. And like, I'm happy that he. Like,
I love it. And I love that he captured it with the photographer and having a picture of that moment. Yeah. I know sometimes I have this dream that my boyfriend will like maybe propose to me when I'm on the Jumbotron at one of the games. Then I'm like, he would never do that. No, like that's not him.
No. Yeah. Like you can always think of like what you want. But at the end of the day, I'm like, realistically, is he going to. But is he going to set up a photographer, like call the hotel in Italy and set up a photographer and like string quartet? Like,
we're more apt to do things like that.
I would have to do it.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Like I would have to plan it and I would know about it. So yeah.
It was perfect. It was really perfect.
Yeah.
But because you are such a planner, and I can totally relate to that, so much though is around a hockey schedule.
Oh, yeah.
So how do you... I mean, like you just said, you had to plan, your wedding is coming up in July. So how do you deal with that? Like with the schedule.
The seat of my pants. Yeah. I don't know. Like I really feel like I actually do a good job at like looking at the schedule ahead of time. As soon as it comes out, I kind of plan those long road trips when I can get help to come out, like my family. I try to plan in advance. The wedding was easy to plan in the sense that it was easy to pick a date. Like I just knew July or August, right? Sure. It would work.
So we love Jaylen and we love hockey players for sometimes they're missing teeth.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, is this like just an ode to Jay? What are we doing for the wedding photos?
I don't know. He always talks about getting like teeth put in, right? Like he wants to have nice teeth. It's just like not worth it. Sometimes
they're gonna get knocked out again.
Like again, he chipped his other tooth like not recently, like probably a couple weeks ago. But I don't know sometimes he's like, oh, this is me, so I'm just gonna do it. And I'm like, okay, I feel like you're gonna regret our photos. Like these are very good photos. Photographers are very expensive. I'm like, I don't know if you're gonna want that or like love that in the future. But I mean, whatever he does, I don't care.
I mean, it's fine. Him regardless. And it's so amazing.
When I met him, he had a missing tooth and he never wore a flipper. And then, I mean, every year we just add missing teeth to the collection. So
this is good. Yeah. Hey, listen, he's on the blue line. He's throwing it down. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so game day, you talked about being at the arena, but what is it like when you wake up in the morning? Is there like a certain vibe that you have to give on game day, especially home game day?
Okay, so I feel like no, not for us.
Okay.
He's like really chill.
Good.
He has like his routine. And I feel like now his routine is just his routine and I know it. Like, so I know my place in the day. Like, you know what I mean? I know I don't have like a babysitter at the house. Like I don't have anyone at the house. I will try to keep quiet when he's sleeping so that, we have a playroom, which is great. And it's upstairs and our master is downstairs. So that's nice. So there's like some space between those two and Krew and I will just be in there or we'll leave the house and we just mind our P's and Q's, I guess. Like he's like chill. Like he'll come up and hang out with Krew for a bit or we'll sit and have lunch like at the house, like whatever it is. It's fine. He's easy.
Krew is, I've seen pictures on social.
Yeah.
literally your mini me.
Yeah, he's my twin.
Like your twin.
Absolutely.
What a sweet baby boy. Did that, were you just so thankful that he was born in the off season and that Jaylen could be there?
Yes.
Did that all just work out just because of the grace of God?
Yeah, because we were not trying for Krew, right? So everything was like unplanned, and it truly worked out so perfectly. It could not have been any better. And yeah, the off season, I mean, I had Jaylen. He got to be involved too, which was so nice, because I can only imagine, like, I do feel for the moms who have babies during the season. It's hard. Like, the guys, their schedule doesn't change. You know what I mean? They get like 48 hours for the birth, and then that's it. And then you just have to do what you got to do, but they still have to take naps for pre-games, and they still have to sleep, and they still have to get rest, and you're quite frankly not getting rest. So
yeah,
I do feel for those moms, but it worked out nice. Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. That is so perfect.
Yeah.
He's going to be a toddler.
Yeah,
in the summertime.
He is. I guess he is kind of a toddler now. He's 16 months.
Walking and babbling and
babbling and saying words, and then walking is he actually just started taking his first steps like a couple days ago, and now he's always like trying to get up. But it's like when he can do it, he's just gonna run and he's not gonna walk, because he's so aggressive when he's like getting up so fast and he's so excited, making all these noises, and then he just falls because he's like too fast. Like, it's like slow and steady, like, you know. But yeah, he's soon to be walking.
And do you think when Jaylen's on the ice and you bring Krew, does he recognize Daddy?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Actually, it's funny and sad, because we'll go to the ice for warm-ups, and Krew doesn't stay the whole game unless it's like a 3 or 5 p.m. game. Then he can stay. But he'll come to warm-ups, and Jaylen will come do his like little round, say hi, like wave to him, you know, do knucks on the board, whatever it may be. And then he'll skate away, and then Krew will at some point spot him again, and he'll skate away, and he'll literally watch him skate away, and he'll start bawling his eyes out.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay, warm-ups are done. Like, and then we have to leave. And I'm like, Jaylen, like, I don't know what you need to do, but he just cries when he sees you skate away. Like, he'll see his hair, he'll see him, and he'll go.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, Dada's skating away. I'm like, oh.
Because he doesn't understand quite yet. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Do you guys watch on TV, like last night with the game and the goal? Oh, I guess it's too late.
Yeah. Krew's in bed.
He's in bed.
7.
Yes, that makes sense.
Yeah, and he sleeps all night.
Oh, what a great boy, though.
I know.
Sleeping all night.
Yeah.
What a sweet kid.
Yeah.
How would you say has Jaylen's game changed since becoming a dad?
Okay, so I would say that like Jaylen's game hasn't changed. And I don't think it's changed at all. I think that Jaylen has always had a certain standard for himself that he tries to meet. I'm sure you've heard this, but he truly has a amazing mindset. He always is staying after practice to do more reps, or he comes in early to the rink. He's like the first to come, last to leave ish. And I just think that his mindset with hockey has always been the same. He holds himself to a very high standard, and he tries to meet that. Every game has to be better than the last, and that's just how Jaylen is.
Yeah.
And like that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with him, right? Because he is just such a hard worker. I mean, to go undrafted in the OHL and undrafted in the NHL and beat all the odds to get to where he is now, and now being a second line defenseman on an amazing team, is hard. And he did it. And he did it. And it's like,
and we wouldn't have,
and he always
been this
knew
good without him.
He could do that.
Yes.
Right. And he did it. So I think more so where Jaylen's changed with becoming a dad is home life. I think that maybe he's a little softer. You know, he has like a very soft side for Krew. He's an amazing, like truly amazing dad. And I think that also like with moms, especially in this sport, you don't know how the guy's going to adjust to, like, you know, as a mom, your life is going to completely change, and that's just how it is. Like your mindset changes, everything changes, right? But for the guy, like they still have expectations from work. Like hockey's so demanding. They have their schedule, they have their routine. So you don't know how the guy's going to adapt. Like for some people, like it doesn't really change. Nothing really changes that much. But I think Jaylen has like found a good work-life balance. where he does, like, at the end of the day, he puts Krew first, which is amazing. So I think in that sense, he's changed a lot. He's also, his relationship with God, I think he's put at a higher, like on a higher pedestal, as he should, because we're new Christians. Jacob and Kylie Slavin actually saved us. Like, they brought us to the Lord, and that's how we became Christians. Yeah.
Wow.
And we got baptized in their pool when I was pregnant. Yeah, for Jalen's birthday. Like, it's like we have a really good relationship with them.
Yeah.
So I think that that also has, like, you know, he sees the greater purpose, and also, like, leading our household. He's, like, really taken initiative to, like, lead our household, and be a good dad. So
would you say, because I know you're close to a lot of the women, would you say that Kylie has really taken you under her wing as, like, a veteran wife, I guess, that was here?
Yeah, I think Kylie and I have, like, a very different relationship than I have with the other girls. I think Kylie and I's relationship is, like, we're just, like, it feels like very family. Like, you know, very, like, easy. It's always just been easy with us. Like, it's, I mean, I go to her house all the time, and we have a good relationship with our kids. And our relationship was started as meeting them and then introducing God into our lives, and then that kind of shaped the rest of our relationship. And with the other girls, they're just as authentic, just in different ways. You know what I mean? Like, just in different ways. So yeah.
There was this photo, we're taking it back to Halloween. I died. Okay, so you were Mia Thermopolis, right? With Jaylen.
Yeah.
And then I cracked up when I saw Jacob and Kylie go as She's the Man.
She's the Man.
Which is one of my favorite movies. I died laughing. Was this like a themed Halloween party, which was, or did you both just happen to go to, like, early 2000s pop culture?
I feel like she told me her idea first. I don't really remember how it went down, but she definitely told me her idea first. I say every single year that Halloween, I'm going to do better, and I'm not going to procrastinate. I'm going to order ahead of time, and I'm going to make sure we have a good costume. And every year I absolutely fail, and I order 2 days before the actual Halloween party. So really, truly, this was like a spare in the moment. We're just going to throw some things together. This is not a super hard costume. And we actually got so much love for the costume, which is so funny because it truly was like a thrown together costume.
It was so good. I was like jealous that I didn't think of that. I'm like, because I'm the same. I'm like you. Like, what am I going to be this year?
It's so hard.
That may be what I do next year. I thank you for the inspiration.
Of course.
It was so good.
It is good.
I wanted to go back, though. You were talking about, you know, I'm sure with Krew starting to walk, you know, he's fumbles a little bit. I'm sure as a mom, you get a little bit nervous. What is your nerve level when Jalen's out there every game?
Oh my gosh.
Potential for injury.
I say my prayers before every game. I do get nervous randomly. Like, it's super random, I find. There's some games where I feel more nervous for it. I'm like, I don't know why I feel more nervous, and there better not be a reason. Because, you know, I think, I'm always like, look behind you, like, you know, especially getting close to the boards and stuff. It's gotten better. I mean, it's been some years now, right?
Yeah.
So it's not as bad as it used to be. Playoffs, I definitely get a little bit more anxious. The games that, I mean, all the playoff games matter, but the deciding factor games, like always the first game of every round, and then like, when we could potentially move on or lose, right? So those are the games that I'm like extra nervous for.
I can't even imagine how you feel during those. I know how I feel.
And everyone's
I know
a little
the fans
rougher.
feel. Yes.
And like, you know, everyone's like a little bit more intense, and the hits are a little bit harder, and it's just
playoff hockey is just different.
It is different.
It's different.
It is different.
But I know there's a great medical team that you know,
they'll be fine.
Which is, you're like, he'll be fine. He'll shake it off.
Yeah, it'll be okay. Well, at least that's what I tell myself, because I'm like, if not,
What is the vibe like? I mean, after a loss, but specifically after a playoff loss at home, like, how long does it take Jaylen to kind of like get back to normal life?
I think that a regular loss, I think that Jaylen doesn't bring it home. And also, I think Roddy has them in the mindset that like, okay, this game happened, but we need to move forward. And that's also when they are playing well as well. well as well. When they're playing good as well, I think Roddy says the same thing there. It's like, okay, we played really great this game, but this doesn't determine all of our games next, right? And Jaylen always says that too. So I think he doesn't bring it home and he kind of shakes it off and I wouldn't even know. I wouldn't say his mood is like any better or any worse.
Yeah.
Which is good.
That's great.
Yeah. So it doesn't affect him in that sense. Playoffs, I think when they like lose out on a round, I think it's a sting for like a little bit. Especially like watching like the rounds moving forward and like watching them on TV, they're like, oh, we could have been there. But he tries not, he tries not to bring it home.
That's so good. Because I often wonder that.
I think all the guys are pretty much like that. I think they're just like older and they've been doing this a long time that they just, it's life. Like, what are you going to do? It's already happened.
I feel like us fans take it harder than they probably do, you know?
Probably.
Yeah. When we leave a game, sometimes I'm just like,
I'm sure
man.
like they're like, well, we could have been better. And, you know, there's definitely like regrets or we should have done this or we could have done this. I'm sure. I don't know. Like, you know, I'm not a player, so I have no idea. And Jaylen doesn't really like, we don't get into hockey talk often. Yeah. Like, we really don't talk hockey.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's great though.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it keeps a good separation. Like, I really don't know like too much when it comes to like.
Girl, you know more than you think. I was sitting here thinking like, did you know anything about hockey before you started dating?
No, I did. Very little. I mean, I know about the game, but I'm saying like amongst the team, like I don't really know like how Jaylen's feeling or what's going on. Like I don't get, like I'm not in the know. You know, I usually find out things on social media before I find out from Jaylen. Yeah. Like truly, that's like how it is. He doesn't really talk any hockey or any insights on anything. And then how he's feeling, like he's always like, I'm good, I'm fine, everything's good. So yeah, we just don't get into it.
And so you said you have your hockey community and your hockey friends, but y'all have been able to build some friendships. And has Jaylen been able to build some friendships outside of hockey too?
Yeah, so many. Once we joined Summit, Summit. Yeah.
Yes.
And Kylie and Jacob have been here for so many years, and this is home. Like this is where they live year round. And so we've met a lot of people through them who also go to our church and some who don't. And I mean, they've become really good friends too. And they've been good connections for us. Like, you know, Jaylen one summer was playing tennis with one of Jacob's buddy and they were playing the whole summer basically when I was pregnant. And we've like in small groups and Bible studies, like we've just really met a good foundation of people and like neighbors. I'm like my friends always laugh. I'm very like, you know, people go outside and they're like, okay, don't talk to me, like switch to the other side of the street when like people are walking by, they're like, let's just, no, I'm like, hey, I'm Drew, how are you? Like,
that's so great.
Yeah. So I've met some of our neighbors. We have like a neighbor from where we used to live here in Raleigh before we bought our house this season. And she has her and her husband have the same kind of dog as we do. Oh. And then they have a baby 6 weeks younger. So we've actually stayed very, very close friends. And now we nanny share with like the kids. Our kids like get together at our house a couple of days a week and we share the babysitter for a few hours so that they can work and then I can go to an appointment or
for sure
go grocery shopping without Krew, and then Krew gets like social time too.
That is so sweet.
And it's so sweet. Krew loves her. It's so cute. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's really
Maybe
cute.
they'll get married one day.
I know.
I'm projecting. I'm so projecting in the future.
I know.
How cute is that story though?
It's cute.
Do you hope that Krew plays hockey? Or do you think you're gonna like, nope, that's too dangerous, we're gonna keep him to golf?
Honest? Like I really don't. I don't know. I'd like it'd be cool. It's a cool story to be like, I watched my dad play hockey and then I became a hockey player. Like I think low key that might be every dad's dream who's in the league. Like, you know what I mean? Like I just don't see why it wouldn't be. Like I think it'd be a very cool thing. But then the thought of like being in a rink for I don't know how many more years, like 30 years.
That's a lot.
I'm like, oh my gosh, like I don't know if I can do it.
Does he bring his equipment home and does it smell?
No.
Okay. That no is so fast.
Absolutely not. No.
It must smell really bad.
It stays at the rink. They clean it. And like it definitely stays at the rink. The only time it comes home is after it's been cleaned.
Okay.
At the end of the season, they bring it home for the off season.
Okay.
So that they can like practice with it, train with
it. And
it.
probably just stays in the garage or something, like somewhere far.
Yeah, and then he'll hang all of, after his training sessions in the summer, he hangs all of his sweaty gear on like our cars.
Okay.
It's fantastic.
Okay.
It's great.
Men. We love them. We love them. They just do the weird things. Does he do any other quirky things that you're just like, dude, my guy, all the time?
Really?
Yeah, all the time.
Jaylen, I think people see Jaylen as like a very quiet person, very to himself. I think a lot of people think he's I feel like he's kind of a misunderstood person in the sense that I just feel like he's like kind of quiet to himself. Probably, I don't know. I just feel like, people don't really know like the real Jaylen or see the real Jaylen. Like Jaylen is a very goofy guy and he is not quiet at home. Like he's like pregame singing, his music's blared and he's always randomly singing and he's always randomly dancing and it's just like he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
He's very loud. Like very loud person. That's why it's so funny. Like even like girls, like when we get together, like couples, like we've had a couple couples over to our house like for dinners and stuff. They're like, he's just so quiet. And I'm like,
you're like, no, he's not.
He just is like a speak when spoken to guy. And I mean, I just think that it takes him a while to warm up. And once he does warm up, it's like, okay, you're going to see Jaylen now. Like, this is Jaylen, yeah. But until then, he's just, like, more reserved. And I'm the exact opposite. I could talk to a wall for hours.
But I love that.
Yeah.
And
we're a good balance. We're a good balance. We balance each other out. Yeah.
What's the playlist like when he's getting amped up for a game? Like, what's this?
It's so random.
Just random?
Sometimes it's, like, straight gospel music.
Okay.
But then it's, like, Kanye and like All of the Lights or like, you know, like old Kanye. Then it's like rock and roll. I don't know. It's so random. His playlist and his music choice. And then it's like straight country. Like he's really all over the place.
But whatever does the job.
Jaylen,
just keep getting after it, bud.
Yeah.
Whatever's working for you, it's working for us. Okay, so I did see that you are a holistic health coach. I don't know if you're still doing that, but I was very interested in how you even got into that wellness journey. And you were pretty open on your website that I was reading about how you have had bouts with anxiety and panic attacks, which I can relate to.
Yeah, really bad.
So how did you start with that journey?
So when Jaylen left that year that we did distance is when my panic attacks started. I don't know if it was a correlation to that or what it was, but that's when they started. And I mean, I was suffering with anxiety for 5 years, basically.
Wow.
And it wasn't just, I mean, I'd get a panic attack, like a full panic attack, probably once every other week. And I really truly didn't know what was causing it. It would be out of nowhere. I always used to say to people, like, I could be at my favorite restaurant, having my favorite drink, eating my favorite food with all my favorite people, and everything could be right in the environment. And then all of a sudden, I'd get the warm, tingly feeling, and I knew, and then it would just trigger me. Like, it was just within an instant, okay. And there's been so many situations where Jaylen and I have been out to a restaurant during those, like, early times where, you know, I was like, we need to leave. Like, wrap up the food. We need to go. Like, I can't be here. Like, I don't feel good. Like, so, yeah. I got into it because I started seeing a holistic health coach because I didn't want to take a daily medication. When I first started getting panic attacks, I obviously was going to the doctor being like, well, I feel like I'm having a heart attack. Yeah. You know, you start thinking like, am I having heart issues, like breathing issues? You don't think of it as anxiety when you're in it, right? You're just like, no, like I'm something's wrong. Yeah. So I think that when I decided that medicine wasn't working for me, I didn't like how it made me feel. I just didn't really feel myself. It kind of took away like a little bit of my personality, made me feel a little nauseous. Yeah. I had this like one pill that was like, okay, if you're having a panic attack, take this and it'll alleviate. And that pill made me feel fine, but it would just make me so tired. So I only could take it if it was bad. So I had a just in case pill. And no, so I was like, I need to seek out other options. And, you know, my doctor said you could see a naturopath or holistic health coach. And that's what I did. And that's why I wanted to do that as well.
I think that is so amazing. Yeah. I mean, I can totally relate to everything you're saying. Mine started in high school. They're better now, but there actually has been a couple of times when I've been on the microphone in the arena live on the Jumbotron and I'm having a panic attack.
Yeah, see.
And no one knows because you have to just get through it.
Yeah, get through it.
But I talk fast. My heart is pounding. And I'm like.
You feel like you're going to faint.
I'm like, I may faint or throw up right here in front of 20,000 people. And this is terrifying.
Yeah.
So when I saw that you could relate to that, I felt I really wanted to talk to you about this because it's just something that I feel like we don't talk about that much.
Yeah.
Do you know what sparked yours?
I still don't know whatever sparked it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They just kind of happened.
It just kind of happened. It never made sense. And like when they would come up, I'd be like, okay, why though? Like, what am I doing right now that's causing this like sudden panic? Like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't know.
But it's something that you kind of want to get back into, or if the timing's right. I know you're so busy with being a mom.
Yeah. I think that I actually like started getting my degree again before I got pregnant.
Good for you.
I went online, UBC, University of British Columbia, for naturopathic medicinal practice. So it's like a little bit better than being a health coach. It's like more biology, more chemistry, like more science, like getting into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
But then I got pregnant, so I deferred for a few years. I'm going to eventually get back into it. But I feel like it's not the time. Like, I just feel like our lives are too crazy.
Yeah. Well, you have a client in me when you decide to get back into it because I just think it's so important. And
I'm
it's
super passionate about it. I do love it.
I can tell that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I do love it. And I mean, I don't have anxiety anymore.
That's so great.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point, just getting to the other side of it and stopping it in its tracks. And I'm thankful that mine are few and far between, even though they do happen occasionally. But yeah, would they ever happen when he was like traveling or where he was just very out of reach and you were like, I could really use him right now?
Yeah.
And,
oh, yeah. I mean, I think those are the times that it always happened. Like that was a definite, right? So I always tried to keep myself pretty busy, and I never like was staying alone for very often. You know, like I always had my mom come in town when he was on like long road trips, or a friend, or one of the other girls on the team when they were happening.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah. So I always had someone. I never wanted to be alone. That was actually what I was like so fearful of, is like, okay, how about if I get a panic attack in the middle of the night and then I'm completely alone? Like, in that moment, I always think, I'm like, that is the worst. That would be the worst feeling, because you quite literally feel like you could die, like just drop dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's how I felt. I really felt like this was it. Like I'm going down.
And you feel out of control.
Out of control.
And you cannot calm yourself down.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful you don't go through that anymore.
No. Yeah, I don't.
No, and I don't wish that upon anybody.
No, me either.
But I'm happy that we're talking about it, because I feel like anyone listening to this or watching this that also experiences that knows that it can stop. There is a way out.
It can stop.
Whether it is medicine or if you don't want to do the medicine, there is a different mindset. Yeah. So do you meditate ever?
No. Actually, how my anxiety stopped is nothing to do with holistic health, which is comical.
How did it stop?
I wasn't doing any certain ritual. I wasn't doing anything to make it stop. It was when I got pregnant with Krew, we came to the conclusion a couple things. It was probably hormonal based.
Okay.
And when you get pregnant, your hormones change, right? They elevate, they go down, like certain hormones. And I kind of knew that my anxiety was probably hormonal, like having imbalances, but it's really hard to usually you have to intervene with Western medicine to get your hormone levels to change, right? And I just never wanted to be on a bunch of medications. And then to balance your hormones holistically, it takes years. Like it's a challenge, and you really have to be so in tune with your body. And I wasn't doing that. But what I would say is that when I got pregnant is when I started noticing that my anxiety started dissipating, I would say.
Okay.
And then also a lot of my anxiety would sometimes stem from me being a hypochondriac, like medical wise.
Same.
I'm not good with hospitals. I'm not good, and when I did have anxiety, when I know I was having anxiety, I was like, no, I'm having a heart attack. If I had a headache, I'm like, no, I have brain cancer. Like I always thought the absolute worst. I do not think that way anymore at all. Actually, I don't even remember the last time I've said that to myself, but it was pretty extreme. And so when I got pregnant, it did dissipate, but I was always worried about giving birth like, I always told Jaylen that I was never going to be able to sit there and be like, hey, we're right. We can start trying to have a baby. Because I always wanted to have a baby.
Yeah.
But I was always scared for the medical aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
Like giving birth.
I'm terrified for my future of that.
It's fine.
At some point.
It's all fine.
Okay.
Like, it's so much, it's fine.
I just kind of want a C-section. I just want to cut it out of me.
Even that, like, none of it, like, all of it really freaked me out. So then when I got forced into it, in the sense where I'm like, okay, well, this is happening. We're doing it. I mean, I have to do this. I have to do it. I was like anxious about it. And then when I had him, my hormones were great again. And I guess they all balanced and it just worked. Like, it was fun.
Okay. Our last segment, I'm very excited. We call it Spill the Tea. I just have a couple of questions and just answer to the best of your ability. Okay. Who on the team would you trust to babysit Krew?
Guy-wise?
Guy-wise.
Probably Jacob Slavin.
Oh, yeah.
Or I think Jack Jury could do it.
I was just going to say, I was like, I feel like I know these answers before you even say
We
that.
knew him in Chicago, too. He's so sweet.
He
really
like he's
is
just
such a
gem.
genuine guy. He is so sweet, so sweet. So I'd say one of those two.
Okay, perfect.
Even Stahl. They have kids.
They're good guys.
They're good guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who on the team would you not trust to babysit Krew?
You know what? I don't know him that well, but from all the guys' answers on all the Jumbotron games, I'm going to say Jarvis.
Jarvie?
I don't know. I really feel like we haven't said more than like a hi to each other.
Yeah.
I don't know him. Maybe he would be really great with Krew. I don't know. But
I feel like he'd probably be a great babysitter for like the older kids, like Brent Burns' kids, because they're like, they can play video games together. But I feel like a baby, he might, he's a youngin'.
Yeah.
He'll learn. But we don't know. Okay. So when Chef Sean was in here, he told us that one player likes the crust cut off of his peanut butter and jellies. Is that Jaylen?
Yeah.
Is it Jaylen?
Yeah. It's so funny because Jaylen comes home always off the plane because they give them like sandwiches to go home, and the crust is cut off and there's like a number 5 and it says peanut butter and jelly.
See, props to Chef Sean. He would not disclose who it was, but I was curious if it was Jaylen. I love him for
Maybe
that.
There's another guy that does it.
Maybe.
But Jaylen, it is him.
Good.
For sure.
I love that he gets his peanut butter and jellies from Chef Sean. That's
with no
beautiful.
crust. Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's funny.
So we talked about this a little bit in the beginning, but and we don't want to
go into it too much.
But let's say the season ends in the best possible way that it could possibly end.
Okay.
How would you celebrate?
We have a big party.
Big party.
Big party.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that would be a milestone.
All out.
Crazy.
Yes.
All out. And I mean, a wedding right after. Like, I mean, it would just be a crazy time.
Okay. Yeah. We're manifesting We are doing this.
Yeah.
Because we talked about Halloween, who would you say on the team throws like the best parties or dinner parties?
Oh, I don't know. We don't really have parties.
Okay.
We don't really have parties or dinner parties. I will say, like, when the Burns host things, like they've done Thanksgiving, even the Stalls, they've hosted like the whole team.
That's so nice.
Like Super Bowl, they both host very well. Like they both have like the space for it, and they just do a good job, and they're just great people. So I mean, I'd say those two, but we don't have like big parties or anything like that. Yeah,
that's good.
They're very like
though.
chill. Yeah,
that's good. Yeah. Okay, so maybe these next two might be hard to answer because of not getting together a lot. But if there was to be a party, who would be the first to leave? I would probably be the first to leave. I get so tired.
Jacob and Kylie.
Okay, cute. Yeah. Who would be the last to leave?
In some situations, I'd say Jaylen and I. Yeah. I mean, Halloween party, we were the last ones there. Yeah. Or like the younger guys too.
Yeah. Well, hey, when you're having fun, right?
If we have a babysitter and all is well, it's like
enjoy it. Mom and Dad enjoy a night out.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. Well, Drew, thank you so much for joining me. I've learned so much.
Oh, good.
I'm so enlightened by all of this, and I just yes, thank you. Come back anytime. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of Iced Tea. If you loved it, make sure you share it with a friend or a family member. Anybody, really. Just share it. A big thanks to Lane & Associates Family Dentistry, our presenting sponsor for Iced Tea.